Hey everybody, Robert from Black Belt Gaming. To get back into the swing of things, I thought I'd run through a little bit of Pathfinder Rise of the Runelords. This is a game I've played actually more of the digital version than I have the actual version, and I want to get a little better handle on the rules so I can perhaps play this with the family. Let's see, the adventure path. Civilized lands are no place for an adventurer like you. The rough and tumble frontier, dotted with abandoned ruins, is where you ply your trade. You've heard tales of Varisia, and decide to make your name and fortune there. But long-distance travel isn't free, so you hire yourself out as a guard on whatever caravan is headed in the direction you want to go. Today I'm going to be attempting to play through the first Rise of the Runelords scenario called Brigandoom. It was supposed to be an easy assignment. Escort a group of ranchers to Sandpoint and defend them from wolves, marauding goblins, and the occasional ogre. You didn't count on an organized band of Skazarni, notorious thieving wanderers, to ambush the herd while you patrolled the perimeter. Your patrol is interrupted by loud explosions coming from the main camp. Racing back, you encounter a cloud of thick green smoke. The noxious vapors leave you gasping for breath as your knees buckle and the world goes black. Fortunately, you were at the edge of the cloud, so you recover quickly. You lie still for a few moments and assess the situation. Even Jubril Visky will like this livestock, grunts a rough-looking man with a heavy stubble as he stoops to slit the throat of an unconscious rancher. They ain't lean like the last batch. Rising slowly to your feet, you notice the fellow guards stirring. Adventurers like yourself, they're upright in a few moments. Exchanging glances with each other, you nod in silent agreement about what needs to be done. Together you put an end to the cowardly brigand's life. Now you find yourself tracking the surviving bandits back to their hideout, the headquarters of their leader, Jubril Visky. Together with your fellow adventurers, you're united in your quest for vengeance. So this helps set up the story of what we're doing. We're tracking these bandits back to their hideout and looking for their leader. Alright, I kind of have a feeling for the rules, but let me know if I make any errors. I'm playing with two characters, so I have 4 locations. Let's start here. I'll let you see my two characters. I've got Valeros and Ezrin. I guess I'll start with Ezrin here. And I'll choose one of these locations. Let me think where he might be good to go. Why don't we have him check out... Is there anywhere that has any spells? No, doesn't look like any location really has any spells. The woods requires a wisdom check, and he has a better wisdom check than Valeros. So if he's going to attempt to close there, we'll have to check our wisdom. Let's draw our starting hand. He gets 6 cards. And another thing I need to do here at the beginning is I need to advance the blessings deck. So there's the first blessing. That's our countdown timer. We have invisibility, blast stone, lightning touch, force missile, levitate, and bracers of protection. Alright, so while wandering in the woods and searching, well, we happen to come across one of the bandits we're attempting to track. So Ezrin sees him first. It says, before the encounter, recharge a card of your choice from your hand. So when we recharge a card, we have to put it on the bottom of our deck. Maybe we'll go with invisibility, since we don't need that right now. But now it's time for a combat check. With Ezrin, he's going to be using the Arcane Intelligence +2. So his Arcane is a D12. And we're going to be adding 2 to the result. Why don't we use a Force Missile here? A Force Missile is going to go along with this and allow us to roll the D4 2 times. We need to get higher than an 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's plenty. So I don't even need to roll the D4 again. So this bandit has been defeated. It says, if defeated, you may immediately attempt to close the location. Well, let's see what happens here. Recharge. Succeed at an Arcane 6 check to recharge this card instead of discarding it. Let's attempt to save this spell. We rolled a 5 plus 2 is 7. That's more than a 6. So we'll recharge that spell. Perhaps we'll draw it later. Attempting to close. We need a Wisdom or Survival skill check. With Ezrin, that's definitely going to be Wisdom. It's just a D8 for him. So we're going to have to roll a D8 and try to get a 6 or higher, unless there's something that can boost that. And I don't really see anything that's going to help with that. So here we go. We got a 4, not enough. So we couldn't close the location. But the bandit has been destroyed. Well, that certainly would have sped things up if we could have closed that location, but we didn't. So let's draw another 2 cards, and that's going to finish Ezrin's turn. Well, let's advance the Blessings deck to the next one, and we'll get Valeros. He's going to go and check out the waterfront, see if he can find the bandit leader there. He's going to explore the first card. Before I turn that over, let me draw his starting hand. He gets 4 cards. So a smaller hand than the wizard. A blessing, a mace, night watch, and a wooden shield. He finds a rat swarm there at the waterfront. And it looks like we're looking at a combat check of 8. Alright, a combat check for Valeros is going to be his melee strength. So that's a D10 plus 3 for him. And we can reveal this card to roll your strength plus an extra D8. So we'll do that. And we got a 13, 14, 15, 16, a total of 16. That's double what we needed to destroy the rat swarm. Rat swarm's been taken care of. Now, I think we can discard this card to explore the location again. So I'm going to discard this card, and let's explore one more time. Alright, I only have 3 cards in my hand. We're exploring again, and we actually discarded a member of the Night Watch to encounter another one. So let's see what we need to do. It's a wisdom perception check of 7 or a charisma diplomacy of 6. Well, Valeros has diplomacy here, charisma at +2, a d6 +2. Let's see if it's enough. And rolling a 1 +2 is not going to do it, so that is not enough to obtain this card. So that one, I believe, is gone. Alright, that's going to finish up his turn. Let's refill his hand. We've got now a battle axe in our hand. And we'll take it back over to Ezrin. We can keep exploring there, or we can move. We know that who we're looking for is not there. So, why don't we go to a different place? Let's take a look over here at the farmhouse. Let's have him move to the farmhouse. Now, the problem is this isn't closed, so that means the villain might run away to come over here. So, I don't know. I'm not really sure if I'm doing the right thing, but let's check out the farmhouse. We advance the blessings deck, and let's take a look around. In the farmhouse, there is a Sage's Journal. It will allow us to add a d4 to defeat a henchman or a villain. That's pretty good. To get this, we need to succeed on an intelligence knowledge check of 8. And we have knowledge +2. So a d12 +2. Pretty decent chance. Let's see if we have anything else to help us. Not really. Not enough. So we only got a 4 on that roll. And I believe this is gone. Alright, I guess that's gonna... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need to draw one card. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm sorry. That was too many. I still have a full hand. So, let's just finish up Ezra's turn, and we'll go back to Valeros at the waterfront. He's still got his hand of 4. He's going to explore again. And he comes across a warlord. The difficulty to defeat the warlord is increased by the adventure deck number. This doesn't currently have a number. Subtract 1 from each die rolled in your check to defeat the warlord. So it's a combat check of 9. Well, let's see. Let's go with our mace again. So we're going to reveal that. We're going to go with our d10. Our mace adds another 8. We're going to roll this, and we subtract roll from each die rolled. We got a 7 and a 1. So does that cancel the 1? I'm not sure. We've got +3 to this. So 7, 8, 9, 10. That goes down to a 9, and that becomes a nothing. So we've got a total of 9 on the roll. Still, with the penalties, that's still enough to defeat the warlord. So we've successfully defeated this guy. And I don't know, I could possibly discard this blessing, but I guess I'll just hang on and keep searching there. So that's going to end his turn. And let's head back over to Ezrin. Alright, so Ezrin's at the farmhouse, still looking around. And perhaps sitting on a shelf or in a closet somewhere, he comes across a potion of healing. You can banish this card and choose a character at your location. Shuffle 1d4 cards from your discard pile into your deck. To get this, you need an intelligence craft check of 5. Well, I don't have craft, I don't think. But intelligence is a D12, so a decent opportunity. We rolled a 12, so we did manage to acquire this potion of healing. Well, I think that may take us over our limit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see what we want to discard. Well, how about before we go to the reset of the hand, why don't we cast this spell? This is Detect Magic. It says discard this card to examine the top card of your location deck. Night Watch. That's not really what we wanted. If it would have been a blessing or had the magic trait, we could have encountered it. So let's see if we can recharge this card. Succeed at an Arcane Divine 14 check to recharge this card. 14. Seriously? Well, we're rolling a D12 and adding 2. A 1 won't do it. So Detect Magic is used. Alright, we're going back over to our fighter. Yep, this is our 4th turn. The fighter is going to continue to explore the waterfront. What does he find? Comes across a mercenary, rather pirate looking there. He's not going to have his difficulty increased, and we've got a basic combat check of 10. So we're going to go with our mace again, a D10 plus a D8, and we're going to add 3. So that's plenty enough to defeat the mercenary. Well, Valeros is making some pretty good progress. Ezrin, I don't know, not so much at the moment. He's going to take a look. We've encountered the Night Watch. This takes a wisdom of 7 or a charisma of 6. I don't know. I don't know if we really have anything that's going to work for us here. Wisdom's a D8. Charisma's a D6. Let's go with the wisdom with the D8. We got a 1. We're rolling lots of 1s. So he doesn't stick around. Alright, I did get the blessing deck. I need to flip over the next one now for Valeros. So this is, I think, our 6th turn. Valeros is still at the waterfront, checking things out. And it looks like we've come across his brother, the mercenary's brother, an exact duplicate. Going with the mace again, a D10 and a D8. And that's plenty good enough. So we defeat that one. And I think that's good for him for the turn. Let's advance the blessings deck again. Go back to Ezrin. Make sure I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. A bandit. Alright, so another bandit. This will allow us to attempt to close the location if we can successfully defeat him. Before the encounter, recharge a card from your hand. Well, let's see. Maybe we'll recharge Levitate. I'm just going to put that on the bottom of our deck. I wonder if I did that the first time I fought one of these. My kids are yelling. Alright, let's do a combat check here with Lightning Touch. So that's going to roll our Arcane D12 plus 2, and then we get to add 2d4 for the Lightning Touch. Sure hope that that's good enough. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, plenty. We zap him good and take care of the bandit. Once done, we can attempt to close this location. To close the location, we have to summon and defeat a random monster. So let's take a look and see if we've got any more. Here's something. We've got a cultist. Let's see if we can defeat this cultist. Now, we used the lightning touch. Let's see if we can recharge it. We need to make our arcane roll 4, 5, 6. That's just enough to put this on the bottom of the deck to be recharged. But now we're dealing with the cultist. And it's a combat check of 9. We do have a quarterstaff. And we do have a blast stone. But we don't have any other spells in our hand currently. Well, what will the quarterstaff do for us? Reveal this card to roll your strength melee plus a d6. So a d6 plus another d6. So 2d6, and we need a 9. That's still not the greatest odds. We can use this blast stone. Why don't we throw this out there? Bang! That's going to do a d4. And we rolled a 1. That's not good. We're going to reveal our staff and hit him once. That's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just what we needed. So the blast stone actually gave us the little boost we needed to take him out. So this is banished. That means it's out of the game. And we have defeated this cultist. And then this location is closed. And is there anything that happens once it's closed? When it's closed, no effect. So the farmhouse is done. Let's get Ezran's hand back up to full. 3, 4, 5, 6. Burglar, lightning touch, and sleep. Alright, we're back over to Valeros. Let's advance the timer. And keep digging at the waterfront. So we know the villain is not here. That's closed. We defeated a henchman here. He's not here. So he's either here or at the wooden bridge. A token of remembrance. If memory serves me correctly, this would be something Ezran would like. To get this, we need an arcane, wisdom, or divine. A check of 5. Well, we have a d6, I think, in what? I don't know if we have anything that's going to do that. Wisdom is a d4. Divine, we don't have. Arcane. Intelligence. Intelligence is a d6 for Valeros. Let's go with intelligence. And we got a 2. So that's gone. Okay, so no luck there. Ezran, let's advance the timer. To close this wooden bridge, you need a dexterity or stealth check, and that is just not Ezran's thing to do. Let's have Ezran go over to the waterfront. And perhaps he can help clear this area out. So he's going to be exploring in the same place as Valeros. Well, here we go. Let's explore. We found a standard bearer. A standard bearer allows you to get 1d6 on a non-combat strength or constitution check. Charisma, diplomacy, or constitution. Charisma is a d6. Constitution's only a 4. Don't have any diplomacy, so it's going to be, we're going to have to get a 6 on this. And we got a 2, so standard bearer goes away. Well, advance again, and we're going to switch over to Valeros. Same location. He's going to give a card to Ezrin. He can do that, I think. I'm going to give a card, a blessing, to Ezrin to help him out. And let's see what we get. Uh-oh, I may have should have hung on to that. We've been ambushed. This is a wisdom, perception, dexterity, acrobatics. Dexterity's a D8. That's not good enough. Wisdom certainly not good enough. We got no way to win this one. Alright, so this is a barrier, an ambush. Let's check out what it does. So according to some online help here, just a little document to help me get the rules straight, if it's a barrier, which this is, follow the instructions, and if it is undefeated, shuffle into the deck unless otherwise stated. So I'll assume it's going to go back in the deck unless we read something else. But it says the difficulty to defeat this barrier is increased by the number of the scenario. If defeated, you may immediately explore again. If undefeated, examine the location deck until you find a monster. Encounter this monster, subtracting 1 from each of the dice rolled on your check. Shuffle the remaining cards into the location deck. So it doesn't really say what happens to the ambush card. It doesn't exactly say that ambush gets reshuffled in. So we didn't defeat this one. We don't have really any way to defeat that one. So we're going to be ambushed here. Let's find a monster. We found a bandit. Well, that actually is kind of good. So I'm going to assume that this goes away. And we now have to take on this bandit, which we will with our mace. That's a D10 and a D8. Before the encounter, though, you need to recharge a card from your hand. I'll recharge this battle axe. So I'll put that on the bottom of our deck. And we got our mace and shield. And that's a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is enough to defeat the bandit. So what happens now? If it is defeated, you may immediately attempt to close the location. Alright, so we were ambushed by the bandit. When attempting to close, defeat a bandit henchman. So round 2. Well, let's say we thought we had defeated the bandit, but he stands up and spits out some teeth and draws another weapon and comes at us again. And in the melee, we happen to have our shield ripped from our arm. Let's recharge that shield. Perhaps we can pick it up later. And we're here with our lone mace. And there we go. We get good enough with an 8 and a 4 plus 3. That's enough to defeat the bandit and close the location. So the waterfront, anything happened there? On closing, all characters at this location discard a card. Well, we got to discard our mace. I liked that one. So we are empty-handed. Let's reset our hand with a longsword, a sheriff, another longsword, and a mattock. So Valeros is ready to continue. Alright, so we're going to advance the Blessings deck and go back to Ezran. We know now where the boss is. He's at the wooden bridge. So where should Ezran go? Should he go to the wooden bridge? We know if we do, the leader's going to retreat into the woods. Let's try to close the woods here. That's going to tie up Ezran for a while, unfortunately, but let's let him move to the woods and continue to look around. Because maybe he can attempt a temporary closing of the area if Valeros can track him down. So, continuing to explore the woods, Ezran comes across a pit trap. And we need wisdom, perception, or dexterity. Well, it looks like it's going to be wisdom for us at a D8. But we're going to have to roll a 7 or an 8 to get past this. And a 4 is not good enough. So, if undefeated, each character at this location is dealt 1d4 combat damage. Well, it says as a barrier, if it's undefeated, it gets shuffled back into the deck. That's pretty harsh, so I guess that's what we must do. We take 1d4 damage and shuffle this thing back into the deck. And let's see what kind of damage we're going to take here. We rolled a 3. That's 3 combat damage. We have anything? We got a Bracers of Protection. Recharge this card to reduce combat damage dealt to you by 1. Why don't we recharge the bracers here to take 1 damage off of there? That leaves 2. So that means we're going to have to discard 2 cards. I guess we'll discard the Burglar and the Sleep spell and take them as damage. Well, that kind of hurt. Let's go back to Valeros. Valeros, we're going to advance the deck and put him over at the wooden bridge. Let's see if I can make myself a little more room here. Alright, Valeros at the wooden bridge. Looking around, we come across, wow, a Goblin Commando. Before the encounter, the Goblin deals 1 ranged combat damage to you. Well, I don't have any armor or anything to do anything about that. So we're going to have to discard a card. I guess let's discard a longsword. And let's get on with the battle here. We're going to fight adding a D10, and the longsword gives us a D8, just like the mace did. And that's a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's enough to defeat the Goblin Commando. And we will keep exploring in the future. So let's refill Valeros up to 4 cards again. We got a short sword now. And we'll advance the Blessings deck. And Ezran is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to continue exploring the woods, trying to clear it out. A Siren, ouch. This is different. The Siren says that you need a wisdom check of 8 to get past this. It is mental damage and cannot be reduced. So it's not a combat check, it's a wisdom check. So I guess we're trying to avoid or resist her magic song. Wisdom is a D8. We need a perfect roll. And we got a 7. Not good enough. And standard bearer won't help. So what happens here? We missed by 1. Damage dealt. So we're going to take 1 damage. And it cannot be reduced, it says. Well, let's discard the standard bearer as damage. And what else here? It says that if undefeated, examine the top 3 cards of your deck and discard any allies. 1, 2, 3. Oh no. Our sage. Our sage fell victim to the Siren song. Alright. Well, it is undefeated, so I think that gets shuffled back into this deck. This is a pretty vicious place. We've got pit traps and sirens and all sorts of bad things here. Alright, let's check our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Valeros. Let's advance the Blessings deck again. Valeros is going to continue. He knows he's getting close to the leader. He comes across a potential ally, an archer, which will grant us a D4 on ranged combat or help us explore. That's always good. Looks like for us we're going to have to go with diplomacy. Valeros has a D6 plus 2 in diplomacy. And we rolled a 6. That's enough to bring the archer over to our hand. And with the archer's help, let's discard the archer and explore again. Magic chainmail. Awesome. Magic chainmail is a Constitution Fortitude roll, and we have a Constitution of D8, but no specific Fortitude. So we need a 3 to do this. We rolled a 5, so that's good enough to give us the magic chainmail. Great. Alright, so we haven't found the guy we're looking for, but we did find a friend that showed us to some magic armor, so that's good. We need to discard a card to get him down to 4. Maybe, do we have any barriers here? A barrier. Just 1, though. Perhaps I can get rid of this one and discard that one. And that will end Valeros's turn. Alright, had a little water break there. We're back to Ezrin. We'll advance the Blessings deck and continue to check out the woods. And darn it if we didn't step on another pit trap. This is vicious here. Wisdom, perception. I just don't know if I have anything that can help me here. Let's see. Arcane armor might reduce some of the damage if we don't get through this. But here we go. We're looking at wisdom, perception. We're going to need a 7 or an 8 on a D8. And a 2's not going to do it, so we fell again. And That's like 5 damage there. Oh, sorry. No, it's 1d4 combat damage. I was going to say that's a lot. Let's roll the die. We get a 2. That's going to be 2 damage. Arcane armor. We can discard it. Let's attempt to do that. Let's try to recharge it, though. That's good enough to recharge it. We saved it. So we're not in the discard pile with this one. It just goes on the bottom of the deck. The arcane armor protects us from the fall. And we may encounter this yet again. So we're going to shuffle it in. Alright, so this is a rough area here. Now I need to take a look and see how many cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 left in our deck. We've just got to watch it. If we run out of cards and can't draw anymore, that's essentially our health, and I think we're in trouble. Let me refresh myself with what exactly happens. Well, I guess it says if you need to draw a card and you can't, then your character is out. So I think that's going to finish it up. Let's see where we are. 6 cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So Valeros is up again. Let's draw the next blessing for him and continue to look for the boss. Blessing of the Gods. It says if you encounter this, automatically acquire it. And on top of that, I think we can actually discard this to go again. Why don't we discard that, the Sheriff instead? He only adds a d6 to a combat check. Let's discard the Sheriff. Blessing deck will actually, that particular blessing will actually double a die. There he is. That's who we're looking for. Alright, it says before the encounter, recharge 2 cards of your choice from your hand. 2 cards. Well, we want to keep our long sword, and I guess we want to keep our chainmail. I don't know. If I roll high enough, that's really what we need more than anything else. Why don't we recharge the chainmail and the short sword and keep the blessing and the long sword? We're just gonna, I think, do better if we roll high against this guy. So all we need is a combat check of 10, and with our long sword of a 12, I'm sorry, a d10, and revealing the sword gives us the d8. That's pretty good. If we use this blessing, we get to add 1 die to a check. So I think that's going to double our 10. So let's do that to make sure we defeat this guy. So a 2 and a 2 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Thankfully we did that blessing and had enough to defeat him. So once he's defeated, I think he runs to the woods, doesn't he? Let's see, this is where we could have had Ezrin attempt a temporary close of the woods to keep the villain from running away. Let's see if we can do that. That's something I'm doing out of order, but I should have remembered to do. To close here, he needs to get a Wisdom 6. And let's take a look at Ezrin. He's got a Wisdom of 8. So there is a chance. He gets a 4. That is not good enough, so it is not closed. We did fight the villain. If it's a villain, other players may attempt to temporarily close their locations. Resolve the combat check. If the villain was defeated, permanently close the location, ignoring the when closing check. So the bridge is closed. When you end your turn here, you may bury a card from your hand to recharge a card from your discard pile. Okay. Well, anyway, this is now shut down. The wooden bridge is closed. And we know he is going to run over here. And let's see. Otherwise, regardless of whether the villain was defeated, the villain escapes. Shuffle the villain into the location deck. Alright, so he ran into the woods. Okay, so let's get blessing, and a crowbar for Valeros. Alright, we're back to Ezra now, and we'll advance the blessings deck. Well, we've got him shut down. We know where he is. Let's hope we're not going to get hit by that pit again. Nope, we've got a sling. We need a dexterity or ranged roll to pick up this sling. I got a dexterity of 6, so we rolled a 5. That actually is enough to acquire the sling. Well, let's see. No NPCs. We do have a blessing that we're going to hang on to. Let's go ahead and discard the sling to get down to our proper 6 hand size. And let's advance the blessing deck. We're going to bring over Valeros to join Ezran there. And let's take a look around. A giant gecko. I think we can handle that with our long sword. Let's get a D10 and a D8. And that's enough. So the giant gecko is removed. Now the question is, do we want to discard a blessing to explore again? I feel like we've got a fair number of turns here, so why don't we just be patient. We'll advance the deck again, and it is now Ezran's turn. Continuing to look through the woods, we find the Siren yet again. We need the wisdom roll, and I think we need the perfect roll, the D8. We got a 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 3 damage that cannot be reduced. She is horrible. She is just horrible. So we've got to discard 3 cards. I probably should have used invisibility there. Well, we'll discard the codex. We'll discard invisibility. And let's discard the staff. And then she's still around. She She's really vicious, man. I'm not sure how else to... let me see, I wasn't quite done with her yet. She said, if undefeated, examine the top 3 cards of your deck, right? And discard any allies. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Got any allies? No. Alright, let's shuffle everything up. And I think we're going to need to draw 1, 2, 3. That leaves us with only 2 cards left. I think we need to use this potion of healing. Banish this card and choose a character at your location to shuffle 1d4 cards back into random cards back into your deck. We rolled a 1. Wow, that was hardly worth it. So we'll just take one of these at random and put it back into our deck. It gives us 3 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we draw another one. We got the sling. Useless, man. Oh boy. Alright. Well, Ezrin's turn is over. Let's advance the blessings deck. Come on, Valorous. This pit trap. Jeez, man. What do we need? Dexterity. Dexterity's a D8. Dexterity's a D8. Let's discard a blessing to add a die. So we're going to be rolling 2 D8. I rolled a 2 and a 3. That's a total of 5. It's still not enough to get past these pit traps, man. 2 damage. I'm going to discard the crowbar and the blessing. Refill our hand, and now he's getting low. This is really wearing us down here. All right, this particular location is really taking its toll on us. The Siren and the pit trap are just working us over. Let's see what we've got with Ezrin. Spyglass, Wisdom, Perception. He's got a Wisdom of D8. Let's see if we can pick up the Spyglass. Got a 3. That's not good enough. We didn't get it. And anything else here? Undefeated monsters other than villains or henchmen are banished. Wait a minute. Undefeated monsters are banished. I think I've been playing that Siren incorrectly. She would have been banished. Alright, so if we encounter her again, we'll banish her. So we wouldn't have needed to encountered her more than once. I missed that. Alright. Well, that's my fault. Let's keep going on. It's Valorous. His turn. And we've got the boss. Don't have any blessings to help us out, but we do have our longsword. We'll reveal it to get a D8. Says we need to recharge 2 cards. I think I'm going to recharge the wooden shield and perhaps the battle axe. But the longsword, I'm actually going to go with the discard this card to get an additional d6. So we've got a d10 for our attack, a d8 for the sword, and a d6 for actually discarding the sword. And that's enough. We managed to defeat the villain. There's nowhere else for him to run. The area is closed, so I think we just won this scenario. How many blessings did we have left? Quite a few. We could have taken a little more time if we needed it. Let's finish up our story here. Jubral crumples under the combined might of you and your companions. Among his personal effects is a receipt for the herbs and alchemical ingredients from one Oliver Potiker in Sandpoint. You suspect Potiker is the source of the bandits' smoke bombs and pledge to pay him a visit. So I guess we're trying to find out who's making these poison smoke bombs. Alright, well that's going to finish up really my first playthrough of the card game here. Like I said, I've played some on the digital version, but only a practice run or so with the actual cards. So this was a good experience. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you later. I guess we have some rewards here. It says, and I may have missed this, if a monster's power causes you to recharge a card, draw a card after doing so. I didn't do that. I think I made it harder for myself. Each character draws a random item from the box. Alright, so here are our items. Let's draw one for Ezrin, an Amulet of Fortitude. Let's draw one for Valeros, a Potion of Energy Resistance. Alright, that does it. We've got our treasure, defeated the scenario. That's it.